Analyst Ejike joins us to discuss the barrage of attacks on Ukraine by Moscow. Good to have you join us on World Now, Mr. Okpa. It's 3 weeks since Ukraine's incursion into Russia's Kursk region, and Moscow is firing back. Is this some form of short-lived victory for Ukraine?
Well, this war has gone on for as long as it has gone on, and every side has claimed the victory. And at the time, we thought it was going to be a short-term exercise or incursions, but we see it keep going on. So I don't know. Everybody's, it's just a war propaganda. They are claiming victory. Ukraine, attacked Russia, and Russia waited it to retaliate, and then now we have what we have going on. It's just another way to tell you the world is a very unstable place, and you never know what's gonna, trigger whatever is. All of us have to now watch and start to wonder, when is this gonna end?
And what is your take about Russia's strategy of targeting critical infrastructure like energy and water?
Well, when somebody wants to fight you, they're gonna attack anything they think is gonna make you want to survive. And so by attacking their water resources or water system and attacking their energy, they're hoping to weaken Ukraine. Would that make Ukraine surrender? I doubt it. It's just another source of inconvenience and pain. And then Ukraine is going to pull back, reorganize, and then try to inflict Russia with their own way of also showing that we are in this war as long as it takes. So, the war is not a party. It's always somebody dying. It's always properties getting destroyed. It's always, even after the war is over, what do you see? You see lingering effect of hurt and pain, because when loved ones are lost, it just end when the war is ended. This thing goes on and on. So that's what we're going to see. Again, I wish I had a magic wand or being clairvoyant to say this is how this will end. And then the U.S. being in an election mode, the candidates are only interested in what happens between now and November. So nobody's paying attention. So maybe that's why what has enabled Putin to do what he's doing, because Joe Biden is weak. Joe Biden obviously doesn't know where he is.
When you say Joe Biden is weak, Mr. Okpa, you're going back to that point about Joe Biden is weak. So you think that the Trump presidency would probably restore peace in this issue. But that aside, Mr. Okpa, Volodymyr Zelensky is appealing to the U.S., UK, and France to permit his country to use their weapons inside Russia. Do you see them agreeing to that request?
Well, they may agree. Again, my saying that Joe Biden is weak he's weak to the extent that he can't say anything now. The two sides have looked at him and said, what is he going to do?
Are you sure that's not just casting aspersion on his person? He's the president, and he takes decision based on what he thinks is right, at the time being.
Yeah, he can do that. He has his surrogate. He has the Secretary of State to go into, but people are going to still look at the president and where he is in his mental acuity and mental appearance. Obviously, somebody looked at it and said, "He ain't going to do anything." But the point is, with France support, with all these other countries, because what Putin is saying is, if those weapons from these countries are allowed into Russia, who knows what he's going to do? So it just, everybody's being cautious, and that's why America is not putting it, what they call boots on the ground, and just giving them weapons and telling them this is how conditions under which you use those weapons, because Putin will retaliate. This is one versus the rest of us, and obviously he has been able to hold back and push back and survive it. And we thought by now, the Western pressure that of NATO would have caused him to come to negotiation, but obviously he has been emboldened.
All right.
And he's wagging his finger to the rest of the world to say, what are you going to do to me?
All right, Mr. Okpa. Well, I was also going to ask you how all of those things you said about Joe Biden, contribute to what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. But We really just have to leave it there. Global Affairs Analyst, Ejike Okpa. Thank you for talking to us on World Now.
Well, thank you for having me.
Away from that, French authorities have now extended the detention of